To the left, we have the Samsung S95D. To the right, we have the LG G4. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run this back in case you didn't see that opening sequence. I'm going to hit pause right here, and we're just going to let it sit right here. Now, the reason I'm doing this comparison again is because I'm on a pursuit of honesty. And unfortunately, my pursuit of honesty has led me right back to a comparison with the Samsung S95D and the LG G4. Now, initially, I really just made these videos to show you the difference between one versus the other, but now I'm making this video just to say a big F you to a YouTuber named Tech with KG, okay? Because you see, people were asking him what's up with Quantum and that my videos of the G4 look bad, to which he says that's by design. To which I will now show you the most irrefutable fact that you could ever see, okay? If you press and hold your settings button, I'll show you my hand doing it, okay? And you go into advanced settings and you go down to the bottom right here and you hit this magical button called reset. Reset, confirmed, and completed. That removes all bias from any comparison I could possibly do against this mode, filmmaker mode. Now, the relevancy of this is because Tech with KG says settings are out of the box, untouched on both sides with, you know, the auto power turning off feature, you know, energy saving basically disabled. So he's just untouching it. He's taking it out of the box and doing filmmaker mode, just like I said. But then in the same sentence would then have people believe that when the G4 looks bad, it's by design and it's because I'm just trying to make the G4 look bad. I can't make something I reset to default look like anything other than how it looks, right? And the same way that when people ask him, are you going to address Quantum TV calling you out, that man hates your guts, to which he says, let him hate. To which I'll say, I don't hate Tech with KG. I hate misinformation. I hate lying. I hate deception. I hate pretending like something is equivalent to something that it's not, or something has less capability when it has more. I hate things like that, especially when things are in the same price point that just so happens to be $25.99 in the worst state this country, particularly the United States, has ever been in, where everything is super inflated. People have children, people have families. We do not have time for some know-nothing YouTuber taking a TV out of the box playing armchair calibrator. To which I roll up to the party as an actual calibrator and expert, showing you the difference between a well-honed, well-refined HDR image and some bullshit you just whipped out of the box. Okay? And the reason I'm doing this comparison like this again is because he literally said, unfortunately, that's not a calibrated image, when somebody asked him, or basically said to him that they've seen both the TVs side by side calibrated, and you know, once you tweak the Samsung wins all day every day. If you sacrifice a little bit of processing and color and all that brightness, whatever, that would be their preference. To which he says, where did you see them calibrated at? Where at did you see that kind of attitude? It's like, you saw it from me, jackass. I'm a calibrator. I'm the guy that's putting you in your place, and I'll do it again. Hi. Okay, so how we're going to do this is showing you again. When you say, unfortunately, that's not calibrated like he claims, that's just him putting his wild, oversaturated preference settings. You can feel how you feel. You can feel like it's a wild, oversaturated preference, but I can tell you the real world won't be denied just because you don't know how to do shit to a TV. But take it out of the fucking box. Sit on that and let it sizzle. Now let's go ahead and press play, and you guys will see for yourselves, which is why I do these videos, okay? Since my settings are oversaturated, you'll tell me which one you prefer. Do you prefer the left? Pause. Or do you prefer the right? Which one would you rather watch? Something that's dim, dull, ugly, washed? We did the reset in real time, so then what's the problem? What really could the problem be? I mean, I would prefer the image to the left all day, every day. I mean, one can argue that it's biased because they're my settings, but I also ended up putting my settings on the LG G4, to which that wasn't really appreciated by, again, purists that wanted to complain about all kinds of different things like, oh, it's not fair. You should really let this TV win. And I don't let TVs win. I don't make them lose. I'm not in control of that. I am a reporter. I report the facts, okay? And the facts are simply this. Out of the box, the LG G4 is ugly. It's dull. It's miserable. It's lifeless. It doesn't have the color that it's supposed to have, and you need to work on it. I think that should be a common statement, and if it wasn't a common statement or a common sense statement, then why would the entire professional, body of calibrators exist? They exist because everyone knows that TVs look like shit out of the box. Otherwise, what would be the point of a professional calibration? Ding, ding, ding. You win a prize. I mean, it's like the jokes write themselves, right? So here we are again in HDR. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause, and just show you a couple different things, poke out some things that maybe you should look at when you look at this demo. First and foremost, the LG G4 is fucking dead. That's the first thing. And no, I'm not biased towards LG. I own an LG OLED C1 for the people rushing to the comments. You're just hating on the G4. No, I'm not. I'm showing you what it looks like. And if you feel like it's hatred, it's because you don't like honest, transparent information. And honest, transparent information, here's my remote, looks like this. Press and hold my settings button, open up the settings. I'm in filmmaker mode. I go down, technically HDR select filmmaker mode, so you know we're in HDR. And then we're going to go into reset, hit reset, and that's as unbiased as it gets. Nobody is doing anything to make the LG look how it looks to the right. That is how it looks. I cannot change what the engineers did. I don't have control over that. I can report what it looks like. And that's what I'm doing here. And people are losing their shit over it. Some of them. Most people understand what I'm showing and they appreciate it. But there are those assholes like Tech with KG that would have you believe that the LG G4 can compete out of the box just as good as the Samsung S95D in every single way. And it's amazing. No, stop. You're presenting a fallacy at this point. The Samsung S95D is so dramatically bright that to call it bright isn't even the word you would call it for an OLED. It's astronomically bright, and more so when you start looking at the color volume, the red, and you could never imagine the purity of red coming off of this lady right now. It's mind-blowing. The illumination of the sun bouncing off those trees, the mats on the bottom, all that's realism right there. Now, the reason I'm showing my calibrated settings to the out-of-the-box default filmmaker mode settings is because my settings were called wildly oversaturated preferences. Well, if that's a wildly oversaturated preference, let me know if you prefer it or if you don't. That's all you got to do. Just sound off in the comments down below. And we're just going to go take for take, scene for scene, and see which one you would prefer. Would you prefer my settings, or would you prefer to watch your TV like that? Because I can promise you, calibrating to old standards that don't make any damn sense with ideals that don't make any sense, like who has a quantum dot OLED television or a television with MLA and you think, you know what, let's just wrap it in low contrast. Let's just make it look like a blur filter. Let's make it look jaundiced. That's what the people want. Yeah, no, that's not what the people want. The people want something that they paid for when they said, I want a colorful TV. It's common sense. It's not hard. I mean, look at that scene. What the hell? The depth, everything is amazing. Look at this scene. Amazing. I mean, like when I look at this as a person, right? Like take being a YouTuber away, okay? Take being a professional calibrator away. Literally look at it as a person. I mean, like pause this example right here, okay? When I look at this, I can only think one thing. What the hell happened on the LG to make it look that damn bad? Like, did the engineers take a day off? Like, I don't understand. Like, how could they lack so much comparatively to what is happening on the Samsung? And it's mind-blowing because it will happen like this scene after scene after scene after scene. I mean, look at this one. I mean, all the lamps in the sky, the color in the building. You have color in the sky. You don't have color over there. But yeah, that's professional. That's what it actually looks like, right? It doesn't look like a sun setting. No way. That doesn't happen. Suns don't set. Suns don't cast orange hues on human beings when they set. They don't cast on trees, nothing. No, it's all purple and pink. That's a sunset. I mean, come on, man. If we give LG the home field advantage, let's just pause right here, okay? This is their own 8K demo. Look at the green. Now, remember, these are just wildly oversaturated preferences, right? And when we look, overly saturated, just all of it's just blown out, overly saturated. And if we know what the word oversaturated means, it means everything's just bleeding and clipping together and it just doesn't have any real definition. That's just what oversaturated is. If we pause right here, yeah, oversaturated is all it is. They're wildly oversaturated preferences. Now, the reason why a statement like that bothers me so much is not because somebody's saying something against me, because I know my shit, right? It bothers me because it's aimed at deceiving somebody so that they can continue to profit off of being deceptive, right? And that's where I have the problem with this person, because it's like, I don't care if you make your money or your videos. I have a problem with how you do it. Because if you're going to sit up here and say my settings are overly saturated, right? All while having color and it looks like that on the G4 in the filmmaker mode that you whip out of the box, but you're never showing how dead it looks. I tell you right now, folks, I'm showing you a real example right now, and I will make you a promise that no other YouTuber can make you. I promise you that you will be able to go to 0.42 seconds on the LG QNED 8K Mini LED Dual 8K HDR 60 FPS /LG demo from LG Global and see that out of the box, okay, in filmmaker mode in HDR, that shit is going to look like that. It is going to be pale. It's going to be washed out. It's not going to have any real color. It's not going to look like sand. It's not. I fucking guarantee it. And you know why? Because that's what it actually looks like. No matter how much a YouTuber wants to sit up there and damage control, no matter how in your feelings you get, no matter how angry you get, your pink will always look like that versus that with my settings. Because the truth is, until someone sits down with the damn thing and actually puts effort into the TV, it doesn't really have a whole lot to offer. And what you got sold on in the store, let's go ahead and show you, is vivid mode. You remember this. You remember walking in the store and going, wow, such beautiful colors, because it's just fucking bright. That's all it is. It's just bright. But like, that's by itself, standalone. When you start comparing it to another TV, especially one that has been properly calibrated and refined, you start to notice different things. Again, here we are in filmmaker mode, and you can see just how dead and ugly it is. It's just dead and ugly. That there is no other way to say it, right? People want me to say it a nicer way. People want me to compromise the way it needs to be said, and I just refuse to do so. Because when I'm looking at it, and it's fucking dead, right? Hit play. Let's go on some more examples. We already see magenta's garbage. What else is garbage about the TV, right? Oh, what do you know? Warm tones are awful too. Oh my God, it's almost like there's nothing oversaturated about my settings at all. It's almost like there's something off with the LG. Like it could use a little oomph, and like an entire, again, profession of TV calibration exists for the sole purpose of making TVs look better, not accurate. But this is the problem with a lot of people. They get on YouTube with zero experience because, again, that's what you admit when you say you've untouched a television and you've ran a comparison, pretending to find a verdict as to its potential, as to what it can do, when literally everybody can pull a TV out of the box and tell you what it does and what it can't do, and then sit up there and try to advise you like an expert. Like, you can do that yourself. I swear to God, you can take a TV that you just bought on your credit card, literally out of the box, and literally put them side by side. And you can literally tell everybody on YouTube, oh my God, this one's great, this one's terrible, this one's awful. You can give an opinion off of shit you've seen. And we have no problem with an opinion being given by a novice. We have a problem with a novice pretending to be an educator. That's where the problem comes in. Don't advise people because you don't know enough. The other problem comes in when you start trying to talk at somebody that knows what they're doing and say, hey, the image to the left is just wildly oversaturated. Oversaturation looks like you have no detail in your image, because all the colors, like the red and orange, would be bleeding together as like one shade of color because you've just juiced it up so badly, you have no detail. That's what oversaturation is, okay? Oversaturation doesn't look like this, where you can clearly see all the shades of blue and all that stuff, and you see the luminosity and all that, the splendor of a quantum dot OLED. That's not oversaturation. And I think, obviously, we all know that, and we all can see that. I'm being a bit dramatic here, but it is for your sake that I am showing you examples like this. Pause. Here's the timestamp. 1:21. Take your LG G4 if you bought it out of the box. Hit reset on HDR filmmaker mode and wow yourself with how dead your green will look. It is not going to look vibrant like the quantum dot OLED rocking my settings. Again, proving the point. When you are an actual calibrator, you have actual results, and no one can step to you on any given day. All they can do is throw shade and talk some shit here and there in the comments because they know not to step to you directly. Because if he did, he'd get eaten alive because he can't make fucking settings. What is he going to say? My settings look better than yours? What settings? He has none. He can't do it. No one can do it. You ever think it's weird? Digital Trends don't make actual TV settings, they give recommendations. HDTV Test doesn't give TV settings, he makes recommendations. They don't make TV settings. The only people who make TV settings are rtings.com. And I body their settings here all over the world, okay? It is not hard to body reference accuracy because it is ugly. Yes, you can get a computer program to hum a certain number and say something is accurate from 30 years ago. That's not hard to do. You're following a guideline set in place from 30 years ago that the computer says, once you hit this target, you're good. That's not hard to do. What is hard to do is looking at pencils and saying, okay, what looks like a coloring box of pencils? Have I ever seen dead pencils? I mean, really, this becomes a question of what have you seen in the real world? How do you perceptually match it? I mean, have you seen flowers in the world that have color like this? Or have you seen them all sterile in one color? This is basically like a battle of how stupid do YouTubers think you are, right? Do they think that you're so stupid that you're going to buy it? You're going to believe that a flower looks like this or looks like that. that rainbows look like this or that they look like that. This is a battle of intelligence. And they are trying to see how much they can get away with. Almost like a date on prom night. They're running their hand up your thigh thinking if they can go all the way, okay? Because they don't think you have the intelligence to hear something like this and make a change. Here we are with another LG demo. This should favor LG, right? It should, but the Samsung has the better color. Right? And so like when you're watching examples like this and you're seeing scene after scene after scene after scene, you're seeing a story unfold. Now, don't get me wrong, LG has great brightness in this example. It is their demo, so they are able to hone in on their strengths, which is, I would hope, to be the point. But then it does start to fall apart. I mean, look at ambient light, no ambient light. The saxophone's not as gold from the ambient light. Little things you're going to start to notice. Different shades of color. Like, what is that? Which one would you prefer? I mean, really, it becomes so easy a caveman could do this in their sleep when you see how washed out. Truly, let's let his face show a little bit more. Look at his face on the Samsung S95D rocking my settings versus the LG G4. Which one is oversaturated? Because neither look oversaturated to me. The LG is just desaturated. And I think that's the conversation that a lot of people like Tech with KG don't want to have. They don't want to admit it. They just want to be able to say, let me make a living on YouTube by lying about what I see. And to which I have no ability or even desire to stop you from making a living on YouTube, but I do have a desire to stop you from lying. Because it's not right, man. Like all like dramatics, all jokes aside, it is so uncool to look at a body of people who are listening to your information and literally sit up there with edited footage of what the default stock image looks like and then say, see, Quantum is lying about what it looks like. Quantum is just the only one without a very saturated G4 because it's by design. No, that's what it looks like. And then people buy these TVs. They get them home and they go, wow, it looks nothing like I saw on YouTube. Wow, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just me. They go try to return it, get another unit. Wow, it looks the same again. By the time they try to do it a third time, then they realize the LG G4 is just dead like that. There is nothing that you can do for the G4 to stop this phenomenon, and I will zoom in on her face. Okay, I will zoom the hell in so you can see it for yourself, okay? Check that out. There is nothing you can do to stop that effect. The Samsung S95D will have color with proper calibration. The G4 out of the box will look dead. Now, what I'm going to do, or attempt to do in this video, is I'm going to attempt to oversaturate my camera to try to accommodate here. No, I'll be even more creative and clever, okay? So I'll leave this camera running so you can hear my voice in the background and you can clearly see my camera still running, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my cell phone and I'm going to just record a video with my cell phone of the LG G4, okay? And it is not going to look anywhere near as washed out and as ugly as it actually looks. And it will be so easy to play games and tricks with people when I play games like that. And I show you, the saturation goes up through the roof. You might even actually be able to see it on camera. Can you see on camera, okay, how much better it got? Let's see if I can get it, okay? I don't know if I can get it to focus and show everything. No, I don't think that's happening. I might be able to line this up just perfectly another way. Hold on. Let's try to move the camera in real time because I'm dramatic like that, okay? I'm proving a point here. I'm proving how easy it is to make desaturated footage look like it's amazing on a different camera, okay? So here we are. You'll notice she has ugly hair, but look how saturated her hair becomes if we start focusing. I'm gonna try to focus here on this, okay? You're gonna notice there's just more saturation in her lips. You don't see that lipstick shade, that bright red up here, but you see it on the phone. You don't see the cameras as vibrant as they are until you look at the phone. Cell phones and cameras have a way of overjuicing images. Depending on the camera you're using and the settings you are using, you can manipulate people to believe whatever reality you want, which is why default looks so vibrant on other people's images or on other people's comparisons because they're doing this trash. This is the trash I'm trying to stop. Taking cell phones on something that's washed out, knowing cell phones oversaturate, and cameras will oversaturate an image, okay? And making it look like it's like, wow, this is the shit. This right here is what I'm trying to stop, right? Because this is not reality. And what I'll do in real time, so you see it happen, I'm going to press record and I'm going to show you, right? So you have a side-by-side comparative of how much more vibrant this image is going to be, right? It's going to be so vibrant. And then you're going to look at the G4 and the G4 is going to be washed when you actually use a real camera and you don't play any saturation tricks and you don't have something pushing extra saturation, right? And now we stop. Now, if you just saw that example in the video, then you know that I'm not playing any tricks because I don't have to, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and recenter everything. And again, I'm doing this in a very real-time kind of way, showing you the behind the scenes of how I would compose a shot and how we would do this and how the tricks are played. The reason, and again, the purpose of this is so you don't get duped by people like Tech with KG, who will show you vibrant footage of an LG G4. And again, for dramatic effect, just so you see that everything you saw was 100% genuine, we're opening up our settings. We're in HDR, select mode, filmmaker mode. You'll see filmmaker mode at the bottom, already highlighted, right? Good. Then we're going to go to advanced settings, and then we're going to go to reset, and then we're going to hit yes, and it's not going to change. It looks exactly like I said it did, because that's what it looks like. Now, the implications of this is that people are just not as honest with us in the world as we would like them to be. Well, isn't that what we know about the world? So when you're watching comparisons, when I tell you I'm the #1 brand in honesty, I'm not lying to you. I don't have a reason to lie to you. Look at that. The color throw off of my settings, they aren't oversaturated. Tech with KG just can't do it. It's jealousy. It's hatred. It's trying to knock me down just for the sake of knocking me down because he can't do what I do. He can't do it the way that I do it, right? And that triggers a lot of these AV guys that like to stand on principle that I know better than anyone else, or I know this or that. The red there is dead. The red there is vibrant. This is HDR. It's not supposed to happen like that, right? You're supposed to be seeing a whole new world of color, right? This is what you paid $25.99 for, right? These are both the same exact price points, but if you don't have my settings, you will never, ever, ever, ever see anything close to what I have. You won't ever see the picture that I'm talking about. This beautiful, bright, lovely, vibrant image versus that dead, washed out shit over there. I mean, like, you're not going to see. Look at that. Look at it. Look at that. You don't have any of the ambient light on his shoulders as vibrantly as you do. Nothing. Again, this is an extraordinarily dramatic way of proving this, but I so get tired of these novice YouTubers, year in, year out, lying about results, telling you, oh, no, it's not like that. Oh, what he's showing you is just oversaturated. It's just a fallacy. Look at the rays of light in this example. The rays of light will show sharp isolation, beautiful highlights, perfect color, all rendered the right way. Reflections, everything. You're seeing a picture that matters. The fire on the stage, all that shit is dead and muted over here, and you have muted, dead detail on the G4. That's out of the box. You cannot make this stuff up. You cannot fake this stuff. The results that I show are what's called tangible. And this is why they hate me, because I am challenging the status quo as somebody with experience. Nobody with experience challenges an industry standard or a body of work created 30 years ago. They go with the flow. I do not do that. I make my own flow by independent thought because I can form an independent thought behind these eyes, unlike some people who can't. And you've seen those people in society. These are the people that will get behind the same car in front of them and they'll do the same, all in a turn lane while there's a whole other left lane open and nobody's in that lane. I'm the guy that will get out of the line of idiots and go into the left lane that's empty and then turn while everybody waits for the light again because they didn't realize they could think on their own. They did what somebody else in front of them did. That's the difference between me and Tech with KG and all these other YouTubers, right? I go where the lanes are open, okay? And I show different things with creativity and knowledge. And again, my settings are a gift, a labor of love to everybody who wants better for their picture quality. For $4.99, it helps the channel, it funds the channel, and we get more units. I don't sell out because I have crowd funding in that way, right? I'm very transparent about how I work. And the reason I say it like that is because there are too many YouTubers that sell their souls. So the moral of the story is simply put this. Not everything that you are going to hear and see on YouTube from a YouTuber is going to be the truth. Not everyone has your best interest in mind. Some people are literally just playing camera tricks and lying because they don't want you to know how desaturated the LG G4 is because they want it to win TV of the year. Or they want you to think that when you buy it, it's okay to just buy a WOLED in 2024 when we live in the age of quantum dots. The reason everybody likes quantum dots on the Samsung opposed to having the WOLED model, for example, on the, let's say, S90D even. There's a reason people don't want the WOLED model. They want to avoid it, and that's because the quantum dots are that much of a benefit. But because LG doesn't have quantum dots and can't produce this shade of color and this shade of volume, color volume, and just the pop and the shock and awe, people are damage controlling. I'll pause right here. They're saying that, oh, Samsung's just oversaturated. Oh, Samsung's just cartoonish. Oh, anybody who likes color, it's your preference. It's an oversaturated preference. No, it's not. There is correct color, and then there's just wrong color. And I'm sorry, that is wrong color. That is not what the real world looks like. It is not cool and blue and dead. Let's explore some of these settings in filmmaker mode. If we just explore them, right? We're in filmmaker mode. What makes this picture so amazing? Is it everything turned off? Peak brightness high, gamma 2.2 being locked? Is it, you go to color, is it color 50? Is it auto detect? When you go to white balance, is it warm 50? What makes it so amazing and so great? I mean, like, is it sharpness 10, super resolution off, noise reduction off, smooth gradation off, real cinema off, motion processing off? I mean, what makes this a great picture to you? Using none of the features that you paid for? For this, you literally can just buy any TV. You realize that, right? Like, you don't have to spend $25.99 to turn every feature that made the TV $25.99 off. Like, only a moron, a certified fucking idiot would do that. And I am not going to be nice about that, because you have to be a real brain dead to buy a TV at that price point to turn every feature you paid for off. I couldn't fathom the level of stupid you'd have to be to do that. And I'm going to say it just like that because that's what it is. You're an idiot if you do that. But that's what Tech with KG and all these other YouTubers are telling you to do, which many of us already know. Fuck that shit. Ain't nobody turning off all the fucking processing we just paid a fucking arm and a leg for. That's stupid. And to sit here and have to argue the position that my settings look better than anything that filmmaker mode can do out of the box is also farcical, but you're seeing it in real time. You're seeing it yourself with your own eyes after resetting a bunch of times. Pause right here. I mean, what image would you rather watch? You can play this game as many times as you want with as many comparisons as you want, but the result's going to be the same. Filmmaker mode is just lacking in color. It's lacking in vibrancy. It's lacking in depth. It just doesn't have it, right? Pause right here. Contrast. You're getting destroyed by the Samsung S95D, and it has a matte finish screen. If I compare it to the S90D, this wouldn't even be worth comparing. That's how bad the LG G4 would do. And I don't think people are really ready to admit how bad it would be. And this isn't because I hate the LG G4. It's a nice TV, guys. Look, it's a nice TV for 2020. Okay? It's 2024. It's time to move past WOLED. It's time, okay? And there are those old dogs that don't want to learn new tricks, and there are those people who just straight up don't have the skills to learn new tricks. Either way, it is not your problem, and that's as real as it gets. The LG G4 is just this damn washed out. Look at the fucking color coming off of the S95D. Hot damn. Play this example in HDR on your S95D, rock in my settings, and oh my God, is all I gotta say to that. Holy shit, that was impressive, okay? And the LG G4 never gives anything like that out of the box. So again, you let me know what you guys think looks better in the comments down below. And as always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty and doing what I do here. I appreciate you guys. Till the next video, I'll see you guys later.